Hello, everyone. So the pups are enjoying some ice cubes right now. Oh, wow. Let's see. Hang on just a second. I got a monitor going back here in the back. Turn that off. Okay. So we got our first question from Ian B. Hi, Don. Enjoy the show. Did you use an outside real estate agent or an inspector for your new home in Moultrie Creek? If not, why? Thanks. So no, you can't use an outside real estate agent for, what you call it, new construction purchases. I'll get it out in a second. You have to use the village's real estate people. As far as a home inspector, no, I didn't use an outside one. I'm more than qualified to do the inspections. I was in construction for 20 years. I was a construction project manager. So doing these kinds of inspections is pretty much normal for me. So I inspected it. I got about a page and a half of discrepancies, most of them extremely minor. So there was no need for an outside inspector. However, if you are looking to do one, if you'll email me, if you're looking for an inspector, I have a gentleman who is going to be advertising with me soon. We have spoken at great length about his job and that, and what his company does. And he can do all the inspections that most real residents want. Anyway, hi, Rich. Good to hear from you again. Wow, we got 50 people on board. Outstanding. So, great day for doing this. It's hot outside. Oh my gosh. We went out for a brunch. We went to Prima down in Brownwood with some good friends of ours. Wasn't bad. Brunch was really good, but boy, it was hot. Oh my gosh. So it's good to be in the house today doing this. Yesterday I was out filming. Man, it was blazingly hot. Unbelievable. So anybody got any questions? If not, so let me go duck over to the printer and get the questions I've got. Wow. So, we got a handful of questions here. We'll go with the first one from Charlie S. He says, Hi, Don. What are your thoughts on the Barnstorm Theater in Brownwood, and what do you think will happen to it? Who, what department, would one call to make a suggestion for it? I think it would be a great bowling alley. Really too close to cause it to be, wait, I'll get this out in a second. Really close cause it was the nicest of the three, nicest of the three. Okay. Yeah, it was sad that it closed. It was a very nice theater. I liked it a lot. I frequented it. What's going to become of it, I don't know. That would be the commercial property division that's handling any possible leasing of that. It is a very unique venue as far as a bowling alley. Probably not. The bowling alley has got a lot of heavy-duty equipment. It's got some additional foundation requirements. Don't forget that the way it's set out is all the big areas are sloped for the seating. So that wouldn't play very well for a bowling alley. Although it probably wouldn't hurt rolling the ball a little faster. Anyway, yeah, commercial property division would be the people to go to for that. Well, we got here Victoria. Hi, welcome back, Victoria. Says, all right. She says, do you have to take the landscaping, trees, bushes they offer with the new builds, or can you take a credit and use it towards your own style of landscaping? Honestly, I don't know. If you're doing a custom build, that would be something you'd have to talk over with the designers. As far as a spec home which is what the vast majority of homes are. They're spec homes, as well as all the patio villas, courtyard villas, veranda homes. They're all spec homes. You don't really have a choice in the landscaping. It is what it is. All right. So William says, Happy Father's Day, Don. Can't stay long. My wife is taking me out to dinner soon. William, the question is, who's paying? I know who paid for lunch this morning, or for brunch this morning. Let's see. Ronald asks, Hi, Don. If someone wanted to create a window or door on the side of their garage, is it possible with block or precast concrete walls? Would it be permitted in the villages? Thanks. Ron from LA. So you could do that with the block walls. More and more of the homes are the precast. You won't be able to do it in a precast wall. I've looked at the plans for the home I purchased 2 months ago. The precast has rebar vertically and horizontally on. It looks like about 12-inch centers, so there'd be no way to put a window in there without having to cut through some of that rebar, which might compromise the integrity of the precast. I don't know, but that would be something you have to talk with an engineer. If it's block, then yeah, you could do it then. You'd have to knock out an area bigger than what it needs to be, so they could install a lintel, which is the top support that holds the weight. It might be difficult. Oh, great. The dogs are chewing up the aluminum pan. Oh, well, so much for the ice cubes. But anyway, excuse me. So yeah, so putting it, would it be permitted? I have seen it on many homes. So I would say yes, it would be permitted. I will tell you that if you're doing it before the village that you're in, or the section of that you're in, gets turned over to the, what do they call it? Review board. Not project review board. It's slipping my brain. It's slipping my brain. I could, the board where you submit all your changes for your exterior changes. Right now, in, for example, Moultrie Creek, those are being approved by a developer's rep and not by the review board. So those, as I have seen, tend to go a little easier, a little faster, with a lot more leniency. There's some stuff up in DeLuna. There's a house there with a detached RV garage. It's thank you, Rich. ARC, the Architectural Review Board. So yeah, Architectural Review Committee. That's it. But ARC is the one who has to approve those. But anyway, back to DeLuna. There is a home there that has it's basically it's a detached RV garage. You can see it as you're going up Marshbend Trail. A lot of people have scratched their head and raised a fuss about it, but it was approved. What can I say? So Victoria asks, if we purchase a spec veranda home, are we allowed to remove the trees, bushes that the villagers put in? Yes, you are. One of the folks that's directly across from me just put in some beautiful landscaping. There's actually a lot of beautiful landscaping that's going in Verandas North over in Moultrie Creek. The neighbors that I have are doing some really great jobs. And a lot of the bushes, gone. The bushes, some of the bushes I think are hideous. But you know, that's my opinion. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that. I know here in the courtyard villas I live in right now, a lot of people have taken out bushes and a bunch of other stuff that was put in to put in their own, and it looks much nicer. You know, the developer tries to make it look nice, but they do it on a limited budget, so you know, you're not going to get a whole lot of things. Patty wants to know, is Eastport in Sumter or Lake County? It is in Sumter County. Pretty much right now, all the building that they're doing is in Sumter County. The exception to that would be the few lots that are left up in the enclave over in the village of Dabney. The enclave, if you're not familiar with it, this is Unit 84. This is a section that you can put premier homes on. And there are some really big and really nice premier homes. I haven't seen a King's Bay go in, but I really haven't been looking for it. But I have seen quite a few Grand Views go in. What else is going on? St. John's, a lot of different ones. So the puppies are raising a fuss. I don't know if you can hear it, but excuse me just a second. I'll let you watch this while I go close my office door. Can you get the little tray out? It's in there. In there. My apologies. This microphone is very sensitive, I found out. Let's see. All right, Michael says, Don, Fast and Furious, south side of 470 at Megason. Maybe road expansion and growth. South side of 470 at Megason. So, south side of 470 at Megason, that is Shady Brook. Okay, that's still the Shady Brook. And they're prepping that. Oh wait, maybe road expansion or growth. Mike, I'm not sure what you're talking about with road expansion and growth. I know that north of 470, they've put in a turn lane, or they're putting in a turn lane for what is it? Lakeview. So, yeah. But that road is not going to be widened to 4 lanes. It's going to be 2 lanes. Let's see what else. Jimmo says, I believe your new house is in District 15. You're absolutely right. It is in District 15. All right. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, this was a good one. I got this. Dawn, as always, your YouTube shows are the best. Well, thank you. This is from Randy and Brenda Smith. Any idea what the extra opening under the Southern Oaks Bridge is for? Yes, I do. Also, I have heard you discussing why there is no Villages sign on that bridge. My totally uninformed theory is it will be added to the new 470 bridge that will be much closer on the eastern edge instead of it being on the bridge in the middle of the Villages. Thank you for all your effort. So the reason my wife is trying to get the aluminum pan out. She doesn't like going in there because the puppies attack her. But the reason for the second opening is just like the second opening under the Water Lily Bridge. That is where the Sable gas pipeline runs underneath. This is the same gas pipeline where there's a cleanout station right there at the corner of the Turnpike and Warm Springs Avenue in the village of Linden. So they have to have access to the pipeline all the way. That's why they have that extra opening. As far as no signage on the bridge, so there's only the trestle structure that covers the multimodal path on the one side. So there's, they're just going to put it on one side. I don't think so, but that's not the reason. That's not there. Here's my gut reaction. With the acquisition of the Secret Promise property, as well as the 550 acres on the other side of the turnpike. That is a prime location about halfway through that property for another multimodal bridge, just like the Water Lily Bridge, and I think that's where they'll put the signs. All right. Hey, Don, good to hear from you. Let's see. Don Delaney says, it seems the POA has candidates handpicked they support and the other candidates for commissioner like you that are labeled in the pocket of a developer. Thoughts and comments? I've been waiting for this one. Thank you. The POA has their own agenda. I'm not going to comment on what it is. They have shown a general dislike for anything the developer does. They seem to think that the developer owes them something. You bought a house from the developer. That's all you bought. You didn't buy a rich uncle. As far as in the pockets of the developer, wow, I love that one, because I've been checking my pockets. I haven't found a nickel from the developer. In the 5 years I've been running my business, they have had multiple occasions where they have tried to silence me, to put me out of business. Right after I went into business, there was a complaint, an anonymous complaint, filed with the FAA. It was about 130 pages long. It was written by a lawyer, who specializes in construction out of Tampa, and cited all these things that I supposedly did wrong, and all the violations that I had with the FAA, or against 14 CFR 107, which is the federal regulations covering drone operations. It took a year and a half to resolve that. In the interim, I got hit with a $7,000 plus fine that nearly put me out of business. If you remember, about 5 years ago, all my videos disappeared on YouTube. It was while I was figuring out what I was going to do with this. Yeah, it was a really bad time for me personally and for my business, but I got past it. After I submitted my rebuttal to the FAA, they finally responded, hey, they rescinded the fine because they found no violation. There's been other incidents where there's been a lot of saber rattling about lawyers and copyright infringement, and it just goes on and on. The last time it happened was last summer. The sales and marketing folks were at me again. They can do what they want. My flights are all legal, and I try to obey the laws to the full extent. They don't like it because I'm stealing their thunder. I'm just trying to give people good information. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't think. Well, I know I'm not on the A list for the Christmas party, as I've said before, with the developer. I was extremely surprised when I received a check from Mark Morris, Jennifer Parr, his sister, and Mark Morris's wife. And I'm greatly appreciative of them, that they felt that I was the right candidate for the position. And the reason that and many of the businesses find that me much more acceptable than my counterpart is I don't have a vendetta against our businesses. The whole thing is I'm for the residents. Well, which residents? Because our business owners are residents of Sumter County. The employees that they hire many of them are residents of Sumter County. And okay, so you want to tax the businesses, you want to go after them. Our business community represents 40% of our general fund revenues, between the small property or the small sales tax and the property tax they pay. If you if the businesses move out of Sumter County, then so goes all that tax money. There's only one place it comes from, and that's from the residents to bring that up. How is attacking our businesses and making this a business-unfriendly community going to help the residents? It's not. Everybody's happy that, what's the name of that? Costco is coming. Well, you know what? They're a business. It's got to be a business-friendly community. They could have just as easily located in Lake County, and Sumter County would have lost out. I am not in the developer's pocket. They know that. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Puppy madness. Yeah, it is puppy madness. Puppy messy, too. It's going to be ugly. Clean up. All right. Yeah, I don't... I'm here to represent everybody, and that includes our farms, our municipalities, our city, the cities, the businesses, and the residents. Because in the end, it's the residents that pay all the taxes. Okay, I know that for a fact. You want to raise impact fees? Go ahead. It's just the residents going to pay it. I saw it on my closing documents 2 months or a month ago. I paid all those impact fees. The developer doesn't pay them. He just passes them along. All right. Cecilia says, is voting for county commissioner restricted to the district in which you live and not countywide? No. Because of the Sumter One initiative, all county commissioners are elected at large. We just have to live in our district. So even though I'm in District 5, which is basically CDDs, 9, 10, most of 7, and Continental Country Club. I think that encompasses about 95% of it. I still have to work for all of the residents in Sumter County, which is a good thing, and therefore I have to. I get elected by all of them. Okay, so Todd and Cecile says, hi Don, thanks for all you do. In addition to Saluki and Saint-Tropez, are there any plans for a Village Rec Center in the Oak Hollow area? Oak Hollow. I saw something on the plans. I believe there is, yes. I have to look for it. Okay, I would have to look for it. Yeah. I don't remember what it is. Hey, thank you, Caveman. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the help to support the channel. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Mike says, hi, Don. What might be going in between Winn-Dixie and 466A? We noticed a construction fence up and work going on. There's a lot of building next to the Villages Grown. So yeah, there's something going in near the Villages Grown. It hasn't been announced yet. It hasn't been finalized from what I understand, and that's all I'm going to say on the Villages Grown. Winn-Dixie and 466A going in. Okay, that's the Fifth Third Bank that's being built. That's where you're talking about there. And the Continental Country Club. What might be going in there? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Don, I'll answer this one. Don is asking about the south side of 470 at Megason. At the entrance to Lake Denham, plenty of land clearing going on there. Right across the street from the entrance to Dabney. He says Lake Denham is Dabney. Whew. All right. So what that is, I've done some digging this past week, and there are 2 open permits in there. One is for the wastewater treatment facility that's there. They're putting in an infill pond, but there's also one for phase 3 of the widening of County Road 470. And phase 3 is, as I understand it, on the Dabney, Lake Denham side of the turnpike. And that's going to be, I think that's going to be the staging area for both the equipment and materials. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. TV has put up something of a fight so they can control the narrative. But if they're smart, they should understand. If you can't beat them, join them. Appreciate the independent info. You know, Home Sweet Harmony, that's a great one. If you look back, let's see, 3 years ago, they were doing this thing called Continuing the Dream. And they had these things coming out in the paper every time. There was about 20 of them done. And that was in direct response to what I was doing. And, it was, they were putting out good information. I don't know why they stopped. It's beyond me. I thought they were some good stuff. They put out some really good information, some really good maps that really helped people. Maybe it was causing more questions. I don't know. But that was good stuff. I'm sorry they ended it. Thank you for unbiased information. Thank you again, Caveman. I appreciate it. So let's see. Do you expect the turnpike to use the median and use a concrete divider? They're going to add 4 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction. That's the plan. I think they're going to have to use some of the median. I do. Just because that's what, 25, 28 feet, something like that they have. I think it's 28 or 32 feet. I don't remember how wide the turnpike lanes are, but they're really wide. So, and that's on each side. That's a lot of roadway. Obviously, they planned for it long ago. So it's going to happen. Yeah, I think they'll use some of it. Will they put up, the real question is, will they put up the sound barrier walls? I don't know that one yet. I wish I did, because there are a lot of people that are going to be greatly impacted, especially in the Monarch Grove and Monarch Grove and Linden area. They're going to be greatly affected by the turnpike noise. Same thing also with Citrus Grove, Hawkins, Case and Hammock. They're going to be greatly affected by it too. Let's see. Is there any word of a Buc-ee's being built near the villages Ocala? I'm not tracking Buc-ee's. I know when you said Buckeyes, I figured that's what you were talking about, Victoria. I know that someplace north of here, they're putting in a Buc-ee's. To me, it's just a big gas station. But yeah, I don't see the need in it. Cecilia says, why would Governor DeSantis reinstate Orrin Miller to the county commission seat? Because that is what was required by the Florida Constitution. He was suspended. Because he was suspended, 2 new county commissioners were appointed to fill his seat. That was Roberta Ulrich and Diane Spencer. Shortly thereafter, after appointment, Diane Spencer stepped down. I don't know the exact reason. I'd heard possibly health reasons. I applied. I was selected. We held an election. In the interim, or sometime during that time frame, I don't remember. I got to look at the calendar again. But Orrin Miller was convicted of a felony. He did some time. And the appellate court determined that his conviction should be overturned. Because his conviction was overturned, the Florida Constitution required the governor to reinstate Mr. Miller. And that's exactly what he did. And, I I have no hard spots with that. The governor is carrying out what the law requires. And I fully support his decision. I don't like it. I know many residents in Sumter County don't like it because an election was held. I don't understand how they can overturn that election. But it is what it is. So we'll let the residents speak in August. That's all we can do. JJ says, exterior of Oklahoma Rec Center looks awful a year after being built. We're visiting last month and too embarrassed to bring family to see it. The worst maintenance rec area we've seen yet. Why? So what you're looking at there is the location where they're going to build Harry and the Natives. That's under construction now, has been for about 2 months. But yeah, it was bad. They did some, with a lot of complaints, they did do some cleanup of it. And now it's now underway in construction. Spent too much to build, should maintain it better. So, of course, one of the areas at the Oklahoma Rec Center it's a beautiful rec center. And overall, it's maintained very well. It's just that commercial area that's off to the south of it that looks really bad. The water area, that's a total loss in my opinion. I don't think there's gonna I don't think they're going to be able to do anything to recover that. The vegetation in Lake Oklahoma is just too aggressive. Let's see. Mom to Bobby says, do you happen to know the distance between corn toss boards at the Village Rec Center? Wow. Okay. No. You got me. You got me on that one, Mom to Bobby. I have no idea. I've never played corn toss. When I was a kid, they called it beanbag toss. I don't know why they call it corn toss, but I have no idea what the distance is. Sorry. Okay, so nothing rolling in. We still got plenty of time, so let's see. So Mary K. Moore asks, hi, Don. Can you tell us approximately how often new designer home sites are released? We are hoping to buy property to build a designer home in February, and so are trying to predict if they will release properties for sale while we are down in Florida, or if we will need to plan another trip down on a later date. Thanks for all you do. Wow. So yeah, they're going to continue to release it. Lately, it's been every other week that they've been releasing properties and homes, and looks like their schedule is on Fridays. Talking February, man, my Ouija board is broken going out that far. So is my Magic 8 Ball. It's just where they're going to be doing in February is anybody's guess. That is what this is June, so it's 8 months from now. Could be anywhere. Just depends on how fast things sell. But if you're going to come down, my recommendation is get a long-term rental, a month or two, and come down and spend some time looking at the properties and the ones that look like, look like they're going to be happening soon. You need to have a village's agent working with you to make sure that, because they put in the request when they get ready to list, and it is a challenge trying to get them, especially some of the really nice lots. Again, my recommendation: get a realtor, an agent from the villages to work with you. Let them know in advance the areas that you're looking for, so they can keep track of it for you. My recommendation, if you can, get with some of the agents that work together, that team. There's one group I've been talking to. They call themselves, I think, the Beeline. It's two young men that are working in sales. They team up, and they have an assistant. Having that over just a single person gives you more resources and more time to work with things. So that's what I would recommend. Cost for stamp staining your concrete driveway. Victoria, Bruce answered this. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought I saw an answer to this. Anyway, how much does it cost to stamp stain your concrete driveway? No idea. No idea, unfortunately, Victoria. Should be 27 feet front of the boards and 33 feet to the front of the holes. Wow. You guys are more into this than I am. Okay. Let's move on. Let's see what else we got here. Here we go. Victor says, thank you for all you do. Our question is, what is going in on the corner of 44 and Megason Road in front of the Village's Grown? Again, nothing has been finalized. Nothing has been announced. Nothing is available in the permitting. I have a pretty good idea, but until I find something, I'm not going to say, because otherwise it's just speculation. Until I find something in a permit or in a some sort of document that is on an official site, or that particular business posted on their webpage. Let's see. This is from Leanne Sousa. I apologize for destroying your name if I did. It says, hi, Don. Love your construction update videos and watch them religiously as we are hoping to build a home in Well Point very soon. I noticed a good-sized parking lot with a couple of potential buildings in progress in Well Point next to the Live Oaks, Pitch and Putt, and Laurel Oak executive courses. Is that going to be a family rec center? I didn't see an outline for a pool. Keep up the great work. We very much appreciate the invaluable knowledge you share each week. And as Golden owners ourselves, we are really in love with the puppy cam for your new litters. Yeah. Well, thank you, Leanne and Mark. So yes, that is going to be the Saint-Tropez Recreation Center. It is a village recreation center, and it generally has a family pool. Just like right now, there's a pool going in at Eastport next to the Olympia Recreation Center. I got to get these names coming out. Anyway, they haven't started digging the pool yet, but yeah, one is going in there. It's still a bit early. They don't need to look at it this way. If they put a pool in right now, it's just going to get covered with dirt because there's so much construction traffic going on there. They're going to wait till they're much closer to the completion of that area before they put the pool in. Same thing over at Saint-Tropez. Let's see. Susan S. says, do you expect that infield might have some turnpike noise? Yeah, I do. Infield is going to be right across from the Laurel Oak executive course. And I think those homes on that side will experience some turnpike noise. And, if you happen to be from Jersey or New York City, probably not going to bother you. I'm just joking about Jersey and New York City, please. I have family in Jersey. I've lived in Jersey. But anyway, yes, I think you're going to hear some turnpike noise. There's no way around it. It's that close. And the judgment for that, if you go over to Case and Hammock, the homes that are bordering the golf course there, and same thing with Citrus Grove, you hear turnpike noise, and that's about the same distance away. So yeah, you're going to hear it. No, not much way around it. You know, I will say that when homes are that near the turnpike, they don't carry the premium that ones farther away do. So, you know, you're going to pay a little less. Let's see. Rich D says 123 watching. Don't forget to hit the like. Yes, please hit the likes. Let's see. Roxy says, how are you staying cool when you go out and video in this heat? Any issues with the drones? Wow. Good question. Good question, Roxy. So, lots of water. If you've seen my intro, sometimes you'll see a super big gulp diet Dr. Pepper that I pick up at 7-Eleven, normally over at Magnolia Plaza, the one that opened there. I love Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper is definitely one of my favorites. But anyway, when I'm out flying, you know, I keep a hat on to keep the sun off me, but it is hot. The drones, they don't like the heat. Actually, the drones are fine with the heat. It's the batteries. The batteries, especially on some of my older drones, they cooked. And I was going through, you know, a $200 battery every month that I had to replace that with my older drones. And I mean, I went through 27 batteries like that. It was, yes, 27 times 200. Yep. That's over $5,000 in batteries. The newer drones the batteries seem much better, so they're not having a problem. But generally, they don't have too much of a problem. When they're in the air, there's enough downwash from the props to keep the aircraft cool. So they work pretty good. Let's see. Good question, Mark. One and the same thing, storage in a veranda. I got to find Mark Edwards' question. Here we go. Mark, I apologize. I missed your question. It says, what is the average height and width of the attic storage of a designer or a veranda? So basically, the storage area above the garage is 3 or 4 full sheets of OSB. So my veranda is 8 by 12 is the storage area up in the attic. You can also put some supports in and put some more shelving or even decking between the trusses if you go outboard. As far as height, I can stand up in the center, but a lot depends on the roof and the size of the garage. William says, Don, cornhole bags are filled with corn, not beans. Okay. Let's see. Alan C. says, can you comment on the building going on in Shady Brook? Do you feel that there will be development south of Shady Brook in the near future?
Motion detected.
So south of Shady Brook, not in the near future. I think they're going to stay focused up in the Oak Hollow, Edenfield, Well Point area. There's a lot. I think there's 5 or 6 villages going in that area. That's a lot of houses. So I think that's where they're going to stay focused for now. That's probably for the next year or two. But I'm sure that they will be ramping up. One of the other things that tells you that is that's where the stockpile yard is right now. And it's massive. They've put a massive stockpile yard down there. I put that in a video or two. I think it was 2 videos ago. It's dozens of acres of stockpile that's easily 50 feet high, dirt that they've moved, and they'll have to move it again before they start building there. So that's down the road a ways. All right, where are we at? We got 15 more minutes. That was about Lake Denham. So Mushke says, hi, Don. Got your campaign mailing. Looks great. Well, thank you. Hoping for a Don Wiley for Sumter County Commission golf cart rally or sign waving. It's an interesting idea. We might have to do a golf cart rally. All right. I love this one. This is DLPDO. I'm curious how the pond in Eastport is full while the ponds all around are very low. Are they taking water from other ponds to fill Eastport? The answer to that is no. Okay, so let's talk about that. The way the system works is, as each phase is built, they put in a connected stormwater system, the retention ponds, and they're all connected. So between the area, well, just south of Monarch Grove, where they're building now, all the way to 470, and the full width, that appears to be one large area where they're all going to be connected. They're not connected to the area of Monarch Grove or over in McClure. As far as I can tell, looking at the drawings, they're not connected to the area south of 470. So they can move water around. They can use it for irrigation and watering of the boulevards and the golf courses. And again, they can move it around between ponds. They do that frequently for maintenance and for level control. But they're not taking it from other areas. The system doesn't work like that. They have separate wells that they're permitted for to fill these ponds. Plus, the initial groundwater level was relatively high, so they were getting a lot of drainage that way. The system is, again, it's a great system and it works. During Irma, it proved its value. Those that were in the area south of 466, no homes were damaged from flooding because they were designed for the 100-year flood. And apparently that was a 150-year storm, Irma, and it didn't make a difference. Okay. Mark Edwards wants to know, is there some average number of homes that make up a village? I'm thinking of what be too big for a rec center. Thinking of what be too big for a rec center. So, making up a village. So, the smallest village, I think, has 38 or 98 homes. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you so much. Price of batteries, yikes, yeah. Battery fund, yes, thank you. The new drone, the batteries are even more expensive. They're like $210. But they're also good for 45 minutes of flight instead of 30 minutes. So, fortunately, I've not had to replace one of those yet, and it's been a year and a half. Back to the number of homes. So some of the larger villages are 1,800 homes. Most of them run, 500 to 800 homes is what most of the villages run. I know that, oh my gosh, Finney, the village of Finney is big enough that it's one of the few that has 2 postal stations. It's so big. They're very good at managing the number of homes to rec center ratios, and they keep that very constant. Similarly with the golf course holes, many people will argue over this, but they're within 10% of where the historical average is right now. Once they open up the 4 new courses, then and that would be Beautyberry, I think it's Huckleberry, Laurel Oak, and what's the other one? Bel Air. That'll be 4 more executive courses plus 10 3 championship courses coming. The ratio is going to flip again. It is what it is. Bobby T says, where is the new rec center located? Okay, so Bobby, there's one located, that's Saluki. It's just south of the new Fire Station 48 on Marsh Bend Trail, right at the intersection of Marsh Bend and Bar Boulevard. And then there's another one under construction, the Saint Tropez, which is just south of Monarch Grove. So, those are going in. There's still going to be more. They're really good about building these rec centers. Let's see. What are the rec center's rules regarding minors? I visited the new Saluki Center on Sunday afternoon, and there were quite a few youngsters in the game room. I don't know. I don't have any grandchildren. I only have one son left. My other one passed away 2.5 years ago. But my youngest is, oh my gosh, next month he'll be 40. Gosh, I'm getting old. But I don't have any grandchildren, so I really haven't even looked into that. So I don't know the question. Sherry says, hi Don, love your channel and those cute puppies. When you picked out your new home, did you know how many other people were interested in purchasing the same home? No, I don't know. It was actually our third choice when we gave our agent our choices. We wanted, Unit 4, 9, and 12 were our 3 choices in that order. We got Unit 12. I don't have any regrets because I got a fantastic view with it. Maybe one day I'll get to enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I have heard stories of, 20, 30 people on some of the real expensive, really nice lots. I heard the ones up on, my gosh, it's in Shady Brook. There's a section that is right on the golf course. Great views facing west, of the backs of homes facing west. And they had like 30 people on the list. 10 years ago when I bought this house that I'm in right now, it was 5 or 6 people. Yeah, there were like 5 people that were in the queue after us when our agent called and said, okay, the house is yours, but if you don't want it, there's 5 people waiting for it. So yeah. Let's see. Janet wants to know any news about supermarkets in Eastport and Middleton, other than that it looks like there's going to be one in each, just based on the drawings and layouts that I've seen. What supermarkets are going to be, I don't know. They haven't made any announcements. I have some ideas. But that would be speculation. That's pure speculation. I'm just going by the plans that I've seen as far as the layouts of the area. Let's see. Naperville Real Estate. Jill says, hi Don, do you know if the Villages puts you up in a villa when you come down to pick out your selection for your new home? No, they don't. You're responsible for your own lodging when you're doing your selections. Let's see. Rick says, what is the average time to get ARC approval for updates to your home? Normally it's about 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks, just because it's got to be put on the agenda, and the agenda's got to be advertised for a week under Florida law. So yeah, minimum 2 weeks. But as long as you are meeting all the deed restrictions and all the architectural review guidelines, you're not going to have any problems. They're pretty good about it. they're going to check for setbacks and things like that. So you got to be, you know, conscious of what's going on. Let's see. Naperville Real Estate wants to know, do you know if you can pick out your appliances when you build, or do you have to use their selections? So my understanding is they have a selection of different appliances, but you can also take, as I understand it, a credit and get no appliances, or just a partial appliance set, and then go get your own. I know that 2 years ago when people were doing that, they were waiting months for appliances, just because everybody was backlogged. You couldn't get them from Lowe's, you couldn't get them from Home Depot, Appliance Direct, or anybody, because everybody was backlogged. Let's see. John says, when you are down to design your new home, the villages will rent you a villa at a lifestyle visit rate. Okay. So yeah, you still got to pay for it though. So Susan S says, how do we make a contribution to your channel? I'm on an iPad and don't see a button to click on. Normally there's a heart button right underneath it. If somebody else can, I'm not looking at it on YouTube, unfortunately, just because I have my Mac in front of me with everything pulled up. It's kind of a crazy setup, but yeah, can anybody help her on this? As far as on an iPad, what to look for, because I don't know. Let's see. Mark Edwards says, do you need ARC approval to simply rip out landscaping like palm trees or overgrown bushes? Yes, you do. You do need AR. You do need ARC approval to take out bushes and things like that, because you're changing the exterior of the home. Under chat, Roxy says, under chat there's a $sign, but not while you're typing. Oh, okay. Good to know. And Don replied similarly. Okay. Wow. Well, we've been going at this almost an hour. Let's see if we got another good question in here, if nobody else has got one. Lori Thompson says, I hope they are building a sports pool in the new area. Everglades and Azelle seem to be full. Yes, they are. We talked about that a few minutes ago. At Olympia, there is scheduled to be a pool, but it's still a ways away. There's no rush on it, but right now there's not a big demand for it in that area. Let's see. Jody Spiegel says, my village's rep says they're not cottages, villas in Wellpoint, just cottages. So yeah, Jody asked me this one the other day about the cottage villas that I said were being built. I went by and I checked, and sure enough, there is the block wall, there's the entry walls. They're going to be cottage villas, just like they have over in the village of Hawkins. There's some cottage villas that back up to Warm Springs. All right, that's gotten all the questions I have. Janet wants to know, a lot of villagers move from one site to another. Do you or anyone know of a good mover? I don't, there's Villages Movers, there's Two Men in a Truck, there's several local moving companies around that seem to specialize in moving people between homes and the villages, because I keep seeing them, when I'm going down to Moultrie Creek to work with the contractors on my investment property, which is, it seems like a money pit right now. But anyway, there are a lot of people moving, and it's obvious that they're doing local moves. So there are several. I would go on Facebook, and if you're looking to move into, let's say, Moultrie Creek, Shady Brook, go to those pages and ask, for people who they've used going between, their current home to their new home. Let's see. Yeah. Don says Villages Movers are good. The ones with the black trucks, not the other ones. Yeah. So Villages Movers is definitely a local company. If you go down by 441, 27, and 466A, they've got their lot there where they park their trailers, and they're using smaller trucks. They're not using the big tractor trailer rigs. They're using a truck that they're using a trailer that's designed to go onto the back of a pickup truck, as far as a fifth wheel. Let's see. Nextdoor has a lot of discussion. Okay, I don't do Nextdoor, Don, too much. I look on occasion, but man, there's just so much negativity there. It's almost as bad as Villages News. I mean, lots of negativity. Mark wants to know, when is your new house up for rent? I don't know yet. I'll be honest with you, with what's transpired, in the course of a week, I took on a mortgage for an investment property and then lost a job all within a week. That was a major financial hit. So we're still trying to figure out how we're dealing with that. It is, because of that, we're trying to plan for all contingencies, which means that we're doing some upgrades to the house. We just had it painted, crown molding put in. I had magic stairs put in, Black Dog put in my garage floors. But all those are going to be in a future video when I talk about buying a house here in the Villages. But anyway, so we're not 100% sure. We will know probably after the election in August what we're going to do. That's just because, if for whatever reason I lose the election, which is, I'm not so arrogant as to think that it's a shoo-in. That would be insane. If I were to lose the election, then the house I'm sitting in right now goes on the market a week later, and we'll move into that one. If I win the election, then we still got to figure it out because there's still several months of finances that we have to deal with. Puppies are doing nasty things. Yep. Got to clean the pen out. Sorry. Let's see. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it. Your support helps support the channel desperately. All right. Desperately? No, not desperately. I don't know which word I was trying to use, but I greatly appreciate the contribution. Let's see. Do you have... Caveman wants to know, do you have a preview of areas you are going to show on your next drone tour? No, I do not. I will start shooting those tomorrow. I was out yesterday doing my houses. The gentleman that works for me for the other side of my business, where I take pictures of homes under construction, is on vacation, so I'm covering all the houses right now. So I was doing some reconnoitering, but I wasn't doing any flying. I thought I might do some today, but then I forgot about my wife had planned brunch for us. So I didn't do any flying this morning. And we have company coming over this evening at 6 o'clock, so it looks like I'm not going to get too much flying in. But soon. I should have something soon. David says the name of the company is Village Mover, no S in the name. Good one. Thank you, David. It's always... Those are little things that are kind of important. Whew. So I've gone through the questions I have. We're going to take that list. Oh, that's my notes. And it's going in the garbage. And I think, looks like we've come to the end of the questions. We got, 154 people watching. total of 376 views. That's great. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I try and give you good factual information. I give you on many of the questions. Don says focus on the election. The videos can wait. You're right, Don. They probably could, but this is part of my business model, and I can't let my business. I've worked hard to. I've worked hard to develop the viewership, and so maintaining that viewership is important. And getting the flow of information out to me is extremely important. Okay, so Sherry has another question. He says, I heard a rumor that the bands that play in the town squares don't get paid unless they play at least one song. Last night, all the squares got rained out except for Brownwood. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know the terms of their agreement is with the entertainment department. All right. Well, thanks everybody again for joining. We'll do this again next week. Next week we should have video 144. Wow. So it'll be coming up. I'm toying with the idea of doing another fundraiser either in September or October when 150 comes out, like we did with 100. We raised the 100th video. We raised $26,000 for charity. And it was great writing that check to who do we send it to? St. Jude's and National Brain Tumor Society, and that was a great thing to do. It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you, that was the first time I'd ever stood up in front of a group of people and had to ad-lib everything. I had no idea what I was talking to. It's one thing teaching something where the you know the material, but doing it from right off the cuff, well, that was interesting. But anyway, we're going to call it a day. Thank you all for joining in. We'll see you again next week. We'll leave the puppies up for a few minutes. Wow, that's pretty bad. Looks like I'm cleaning out the puppy pen. Y'all have a good day.